I'm Dr. Branyon with New Hope Unlimited. Thanks for joining me today. Today's topic, I want to talk about remission and cure. What's the difference? Now, I've got a feeling that this is going to be a long video, so we're going to do it in parts. So here goes with part one. Back in the old days, now I say that kindly, any of you doctors, and I know you're watching because you've told me, but any of you doctors that's as old as I am, remember this. But back in the old days, when someone was considered remission, it was because they did not have any cancer left in their body. That's not like it is now. But many times I'm lecturing to doctors or patients, and all the time I will get a hand raised and they'll ask, well, Dr. Branyon, why are you not saying the word cure? We've noticed you don't say cure. You always just say remission. Oh, and it's such a good question. And the answer just kind of breaks my heart a little bit though. But back in the old days, back to that, when I would get what they called tumor registries. The tumor registry would send out forms, and we would have to fill out everything the form would ask. The form would have the patient's name and birth date, and I'd have to go and pull the file and open it up and go through the file and answer the questions. And the questions were things like, when were they last seen in the office? When was their last blood work? What abnormalities? When was their last x-rays? Are they alive? What was the date of their death? And then there would be always a block that I'd have to fill out for assessment. Those tumor registries would go to a tumor bank that would keep up with numbers for the US and numbers for the world. The US numbers, well, it would be things like, oh, how many breast cancers for the year 1989. Yes, I'm old, but I'm loving it. How many lung cancers for the year 2000. But they kept up with all the numbers of all the different types of cancers, the deaths, and hopefully the cures, but you never really heard about that. And then, so the US would have a number, and then those numbers would go over to the World Health Organization and put in the World Bank. If you get on the internet and you look at the World Health Organization and you look at the different charts, and I encourage you to do that, but you will see that, oh, our numbers as far as health care, and there is one chart that will show where the US is in health care according to all the rest of the countries in the world. We used to be the mighty and the best, and everybody wanted to come to the US because we were the best. And we were up in the top 5. Oh, I hate to tell you, but go look yourself. You will see that we went from here way down in the last few years because, well, I don't want to get political and I don't want to talk about greed, but we need to change our healthcare system. Doctors, you know it. Government, you know it. Please forgive me. This is my opinion, but anyway, it's sad. But we can do better. We can do better. So let's start thinking, doing better. But anyway, back to remission. Back in the old days, when someone would come to the office, and after so many blood work, so many office visits, so much x-ray testing and everything, there was nothing found in the body. No active cancer cells, no cancer cells anywhere. Then guess what? They were considered in remission. Then the doctors would say, okay, Miss Jane, Mr. Doe, you're looking very clean, but we can't let it go just yet. We need to do blood work once a month for 6 months, 8 months, maybe to a year, depending on the patient, the problem, that sort of thing. Sorry, my dog's barking. But then we would, after so many months of clean blood work and x-rays, then they would go to blood work every 3 months. And then when that showed good, then they would go to blood work every 6 months. And after a few years of that, then they would go to blood work and x-rays once a year, unless there were symptoms or a problem. Then after 5 years, that patient could be deemed in the cure. So remission in the United States back then meant that when someone did not have any cancer, nothing could be found by testing and observation, then they were considered in remission. And then after 5 years of being clean, that was considered cure. Now in the United States, it is not allowed for us to use the word cure whatsoever. I heard of doctors being fined, going to jail for considering and calling it cure, even in traditional medicine. So on the next video, I want to talk to you about how the U.S. is now with the word remission and cure. So join me for the next one. Thank you.